into your heart. Let it transform your mind by the renewing of your mind. It's your mind that does the thinking that gets you in trouble. My best thinking got me where I am today. That's another t-shirt we're going to have made. So you got to get your mind right. You get your mind right, and you get life right. It's kind of like if you really want to have a happy marriage, get happy yourself. Nothing wrong with your wife. God can't fix in you. How you like that one? I don't think that t-shirt's going to sell any. It's just not doing it. I like the one that says, live your life in such a way that your pastor won't have to lie at your funeral. I like that one. We get tired of that, but moving right along. For the guys who never got on the altar, they never gave their life to Christ. They never surrendered, and they put it up there with no questions asked. What's the deal? What are we negotiating here? We're not negotiating. There's no negotiation. There's no, I'll give you this if you give me that. God's already said, if you'll fill my conditions, these are the things I'll do. If you'll humble yourself and pray and seek my face and turn from your wicked ways, then I am able to hear you. I can accept that kind of worship. Your worship is not just standing up here singing like we did a few minutes ago. We love that. It's inspiring. We need to do that. But your worship is not, I'm going to go to men's group and worship. I'm going to go to church Sunday and worship. You're going to go home and worship. Everything you do, every act you make, every word you say is an act of worship or not.
Yes.
I'm going to go to work today to worship. Because I'm going to be a living sacrifice to everybody there. I'm going to go live a life that's worthy of the gospel of Jesus Christ, and it's going to be a service and a sacrifice of my worship. God can receive that worship. God can accept that kind of worship. God is not all that interested in all of our rituals and all the things we go through at church, all the mechanisms that we use. I mean, He doesn't mind it, and if your heart's really in it, good, it's helpful. But there's so many that go through rituals. There's so many bought the ritual but not the lifestyle. God says your greatest act of worship is to put your life on this altar in a living sacrifice and then going and living out there. Live that life out. That's your act of worship. Every time you do it for my glory, every time you do it to benefit and other people for the gospel, that's an act of worship. Every time you turn the other cheek and go the second mile, it's an act of worship. Every time you bless those who persecute you and pray for your enemies, it's an act of worship. That's the worship God can accept.